सियापति रामचंद्र भगवान की
जय।
एक बार बोलिए सियापति रामचंद्र भगवान की
जय।
भाई जय घोष तो बहुत धीरे से बोलते हो आप लोग, क्या बात है, खाए पिए नहीं क्या? बोलिए सियापति रामचंद्र भगवान की
जय।
आज दिवाली है, सभी को दिवाली को बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। अ वेरी ब्लेस्ड दिवाली फॉर टू ऑल ऑफ अस। बोले श्रीमद सदगुरु सरकार की
जय।
My most humble pranams to each one of you dear devotees. सभी को मेरा हार्दिक प्रणाम स्वीकार हो। अब हम सब लोग हाथ जोड़ करके कमर सीधे करके बैठे। भगवान के दिव्य सौंदर्यमान झांकी हमारे सामने है। प्रभु के दिव्य रूप को निहारते हुए अपने नेत्र को बंद करके अपने मन के नेत्र में साक्षात भगवान का दिव्य स्वरूप का ध्यान करते हुए हम सब भगवत दिव्य श्री चरणों का वंदना करेंगे। पश्चात आगे विषय पर बढ़ेंगे। Let us all fold our hands in the prayer mode. Take a good look at the divine form of God placed on the altar. Capture the form of the Lord in your hearts and minds and close your eyes. Closing your eyes is very important because that will stop you from getting distracted from the movements around you. And you can very easily then, just capturing the form of the Lord in your hearts and minds, visualize the divine form of God with the inner eyes of your minds. Keeping your thoughts exclusively focused onto the form of God, that is doing Rup Dhyan, we all shall pay our most humble obeisance at the divine lotus feet of our supreme divine beloved Lord, seeking His grace that may enlighten us with the divine wisdom and lead us onto this path of love and devotion and give the true meaning of Divali in our lives. Manatha Shri Jagannatho Madguru Shri Jagadguru Madatma Sarva Bhutatma Kripalur Gurave Namah. Guru Raradhana Dishcha Guru Paramadaivatam Guru Parataram Nasti Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Dheyam Sada Paribhavad Namabhishtadoham Tirthaspadam Shiva Virinchinutam Sharanyam Brityartiham Pranatapal Bhavabdi Potam Bande Maha Purushate Charanarvindam. Ramo Rajamani Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Bihata Nisha Charachamu Ramaya Tasmai Namah. Ramam Ratna Kirita Kundalayutam Keyuraharanvitam Sita Lankritavam Bhagamamalam Singhasanastham Vibhum Sugrivadi Harishwarai Suraganai Sansevyamanam Sada Vishwamitra Parasharadi Munibi Sanstu Yamanam Bhaje. Yo Brahmanam Vidadhati Purvam Yo Vai Vedanscha Prahinoti Tasmai Tagvam Hadevamatma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshurvai Sharanamaham Prapadye. आनंद कंद सच्चिदानंद श्री रामचंद्र चरणारविंद मकरंद मिलिंद महानुभाव प्रेमी भक्तगण, dear devotees, we all shall chant the holy name of the Supreme Lord just for a few minutes, and then we shall proceed with our discourse, with the discourse that has been going on. But today, specifically being Diwali, more highlight would be given of the talk on Deepavali and the significance of Deepavali. भजो रघुपति राघव राजा राम।
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 भजो पतित पावन सीता राम।
भजो पतित
सभी गाइए।
पावन सीताराम।
भजो पतित पावन सीताराम।
भजो पतित पावन सीताराम।
भजो रघुपति राघव राजा राम।
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 भजो रघुपति राघव राजा
राम। बोलिए सियापति रामचंद्र भगवान की
जय।
बोलिए श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की
जय।
Dear devotees, I have been talking about devotion in Ramayana. And today, with Deepavali, the epitome of this talk, the final conclusion and the fruit of this talk, basically, is what Deepavali would be for every individual soul. Once this devotion that has been talked about in the Ramayana, even by the Supreme Almighty Godhead Personality Bhagwan Shri Ramchandra Ji himself, and in the words of Tulsidas Ji, and also by all the greatest of the sages and saints that have talked about this bhakti, once this devotion comes into the heart of a devotee, a sadhak is filled with this love and devotion in life, then that would add the true meaning to Deepavali. Hari Surya Maya Tam हरि सूर्य माया तम गोविंद राधे, हरि आवे उर माया तम को भगा दे, हरि आवे उर माया तम को भगा दे। हरि, the Supreme Almighty Godhead Personality, whom we call Ram, Krishna, is Surya, is that infinite, divine, unlimited Prakash. Surya, not this sun. This sun that we know is only the final limit of the limited sun, the limited sun. सीमित सूर्य का अंतिम जो पहुंच है, ये सूर्य हम लोग जो देखते जानते। But uncountable suns put together, infinite suns. This is limited sun, finite. Unlimited, uncountable, infinite suns put together is who Bhagavan is, God is, Ram is. And Maya is the darkness. God is that supreme infinite light, and Maya is that darkness. Once God enters the heart and mind of a devotee, then God doesn't have to tell Maya to go. God doesn't have to tell Maya to go. No one has to tell darkness to go. Darkness can never remain in presence of light. You see this room? We've got lights on. Suppose we switch off the light. All the lights are switched off. You will say the room is dark. But there will still be some light, the lights of the candles, the lights of the diyas, the light creeping in from elsewhere. Very little light, but we will still term this room, call this room dark. Right? And suppose we switch off all the candles, all the diva lights. Now we will still call the room dark because the lights are all switched off. And this now candle lights are also switched off. So we will still call this room dark. Suppose now you put big, thick layers of blanket or thick material all over wherever the doors and the windows are. Now, what would you call this room? Still dark? You may call it pitch dark now. But there are different levels of darkness though, but you still call the room dark. Thus, in the like manner, there are two things now. One is light and one is dark. Hari, Surya, Maya, Tam. Hari ur aave to Maya Tam ko bhaga de. So there is this light and there is this darkness. And these two entities are eternally in existence. Many a time we hear people say that absence of light is darkness. No. Darkness has always been there. Darkness is Maya. An immense light is Hari. Light has always been there. And there is the third tattva, which is the jiva. Where will the jiva fall? Under the light category or under the dark category? Under the light category. Light. So now there are two aspects of light. प्रकाश का दो स्वरूप हो गया. एक विभूचित, the universal prakash, the universal light, the infinite light, which is Brahma, the supreme Brahma, the supreme God. This supreme Godhead personality, Bhagavan, Shri Ram, Shri Krishna Bhagavan, Saguna Sakara Bhagavan, the personified form God, his immense infinite light is who Brahma is, the impersonal Brahma. Impersonal Brahma is nothing else. It is the supreme Bhagavan, Shri Krishna, Shri Ram's, Sagun Sakar Bhagavan's immense infinite light. That is who we call Brahma. That Brahma in the Saguna Sakar Swarup, we call it Ram, Krishna, Bhagavan. His light is Brahma. So there is this supreme Brahma, the Godhead personality, who is Vibhuchit, universal infinite light. And the other aspect of that same light is his very, 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 very minute, subtle Shakti, power. God is Sarva Shaktiman, Vibhuchit, and the soul still is Chetan. Remember, soul is not Jad. Maya is Jad. Darkness is Jad. Is insentient power of God. Jada Shakti hai Bhagwan ka. And the Atma, the soul, the Jeev Atma, it is the Chetan Shakti. Sentient power. God is Vibhuchit, Vibhu Chetan, universal consciousness, and soul is, Jeev is Anuchit. Very subtle. Mamaivansho Jivaloke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. 15th chapter 7 verse Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna himself says that every individual soul, no matter what body they are clad in, 8.4 million types of lives, not only human beings, animal, bird, beast, whoever they are, every soul, stationary, living beings like plants, like rocks, corals, etc., or mobile living beings like you and I, every living soul is my Shakti, is my Ansh. Ansh means Shakti, power. But it is very, very sukshma, minute, subtle. So Jeev is also light, but Anu light, Anuchit, very small. So small is this light that problem takes place. What problem? I told you three tattvas. The supreme Brahma Vibhuchit, and then Maya, the very enemy, you can say, the very enemy of Brahma. Because it's the very contradictory power. It is the opposite power, opposite Shakti. It is Jara. It is dark, and Brahma is infinite light. But there are two, God and Maya, and then there is this Jeev Shakti of Brahma. We all, which is also Chetan, just like God is Chetan, Nitya, Sanatan. But it is Anuchit, very small. So what happened? What is the danger? You know what happened? Actually, I just told you in the beginning that if there is darkness in the room, any time you can switch on the light and darkness will run away, fly away. It cannot face light. But when there is light, darkness, can it come in? Can it creep in? It can never creep in. Unless you switch off that light. But if there is darkness in the room, light can come in. From anywhere it will come in. So that means that light, these two powers, light and darkness, of these two, light anytime and every time overpowers and envelops, engulfs the darkness. लाइट का जो है वो अंधकार पर कभी भी हावी हो सकता, हावी होता है, होगा। लेकिन अंधकार प्रकाश पर हावी हो सकता है कभी, कभी नहीं। Irrefutable law of creation. Never ever can darkness engulf light. But the individual soul is said to be overpowered and controlled by Maya. And Maya is light or darkness? It is darkness. So now the question comes, how could then this darkness overpower the Jeev Atma, the soul, which is light? Which is light. It is the aspect of the light. It is anuchit, but it is chit. How could that Jada Maya, that insentient, inanimate Maya, overpower the soul, when darkness can never ever overpower light? Well, it seems that darkness has overpowered the Jeev Atma. But what has happened is the prakash of the Atma, the light of the soul, is so subtle, so small, that the darkness is there. Maya has crept in and it has overpowered our mind and our intellect. Karma ka karta. It is able to do it because the light is so subtle. Just like I told you in the beginning, there are diva lights, the candle lights are on, and you have switched off the light. You still call the room dark. There is light, but this darkness is seen in this room. It seems that the darkness has overpowered the light. It has not overpowered that small light, but it is much more stronger compared to that subtle light, उसका प्रकाश। दिया का प्रकाश इतना कम है कि रूम को आप अंधेरा ही बोलोगे। That exactly in this like manner, the soul is eternally ansh of God, Shakti of God, and it is eternally Chetan. Chetan means the light aspect, but it is anuchit, sentient, conscious. Maya was able to overpower, or is able to overpower, because it is so small. अभी नहीं समझे आप लोग. Let me try to explain to you in another way. Suppose there is a huge block, a very huge block of pure gold without any alloy in it, put into a corner of the room, and the room is all dark. Will you be able to see it? Yes, you will. If there is a very huge block of gold, pure gold, it will emanate, give light. Even in the dark room, you will see, hey, वहाँ पर कुछ है. Whether you are able to make out or not, but the light is coming, you can see it. From that same gold, huge gold block, suppose a small earring or a nose ring or a bangle, tiny things are made. And you were wearing it, and it fell somewhere in that same room. Can you find it? No. No, because it is so small. The light is there in gold. Gold has light, but it is so small, so subtle that it can't be seen. However, that big block of gold, big rock of gold, which is pure, shining, glittering, it gives off light in the dark room. If it's placed in the corner, you'll be able to see it. So it depends on what level of Darkness, remember? And on what level of light? This is a dark room, right? You have got candles here. Suppose there is a huge candle which you have lit in this room. Then, will you be able to see it? Yes. But the room is called dark. It's in the dark room you say there is a candle. But if there is a very small incense stick, incense agarbatti, somewhere in this room, it's giving such a small red light somewhere in the corner, and you walk into the room, will you be able to see it? No. Is it giving too much light? No, not like that huge candle. Even a small candle won't give that much light. So, like this, now come back to the Atma, Jivatma. Jivatma is Chetan. It is divine. It is divine. But this Maya and this darkness of Maya and this ignorance of Maya, darkness means ignorance, confusion, all. This darkness of Maya has been able to overpower this Chetan, this life, living, this subtle light, Atma, which is the Ansh of Ishwar and which is Divya. Remember? Ishwar Ansha Jiva Avinashi Chetan Amal Sahaja Sukharashi. It is the Shakti of the Sarva Shaktiman Brahm. He is bliss, but this is a very small bliss, but it is bliss. It is the Ansh of Satchidanand Brahm. But Maya, the darkness of Maya, the ignorance of Maya could overpower. Did it happen one day? Did it happen one day? No. No. Because if anything has a beginning, it will automatically, naturally come to an end one day. Nobody has to put an effort to put it to an end. But this Maya overpowering the soul, it's not coming to an end on its own. It will never come to an end on its own. And it's not that one day it happened. Anything has a beginning, has an end. It will come naturally. So, that means Maya governing the soul? Yes. It is. And will it always be governing the soul for eternity? No. It did not happen one day, and it is not going to remain eternally governing the soul. No. But at the moment it is. One day, it didn't start. Since eternity, Jiv, the word Jiv, the word Jivatma, it simply means, Jivatma, it simply means the one which is with Maya, governed by Maya. Governed by Maya. Maya Dhin. Maya Dhin is Jiv. Maya Tit is the one who is gone beyond Maya. No more Maya governing, Bhagavan governing, or Yoga Maya governing. Then what do you call that? Jivatma, no longer Jivatma. He's become Mahatma. That Purush has become Mahapurush. Because Maha light has come in. Thus, how did Maya get to control us? Because since time eternity, not one day, since time eternity, this Sukshma Jiva Shakti got itself averted from God. Averted. We came into the lap of Maya. Since time eternity. Now if you ask what is that eternity, that's a wrong question. Eternity cannot be questioned. And things about eternity cannot be questioned, and things about eternity cannot be understood. you need to realize it, experience it, when you reach that state of eternal bliss. So it's a wrong question if you try to question something beyond time. There is no time there. Since time, eternity. There were some souls who since time, eternity, when got released from the womb of the Lord, Maharaj, Shaktis got released. Since time, eternity. Those Jeev Atma, those Shaktis, those Jeev, they did not turn against the God. They did not avert from God. They went immediately towards God. They are known as eternal saints. Nitya Siddh Mahapurush. Always with God. Then there are those of us who did get averted one day. I mean, since time, eternity, not one day, since time, eternity. But one day we understood that, oh God, I made a wrong move. I came under Maya and I'm looking for happiness here. This world has no happiness. This is Maya world. Everything is a mirage here. Mirage. Mirage. Like the sands, flying sands in the desert. Seeming. Nothing is true. Truth is only God. Love is only God. So they turned towards God. And they have become Sadhak Siddh Mahapurush. Like Tulsidas, Surdas, Meera. They became saints. And we are still figuring out whether to believe the words of Ramayana or whether to trust the words of Didi Ji, what she's saying, or whether to trust the words of Jagadguru Uttam Swami Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu. Whether to trust the scriptures or trust our own deluded minds and keep on hankering after happiness and pleasure, sensual pleasure giving things in this world. But one day, if we also make the correct decision, the right decision, that bas enough is enough. I'm drawing my line here. This is all Maya. And I'm not going to run after Maya anymore. It's only going to end up giving me kicks. There's one phrase, kicks of Maya. So much happiness you get, but in the end, kicks of Maya. You lose everything. When we die, we can't even take this body. नंगा तनु आया था तू गोविंद राधे और जग वाले तनु को भी आग में जला दे मुट्ठी बांधे आया था तू गोविंद राधे हाथ पसारे जाए सबको बता दे नर की बिसात क्या है गोविंद राधे स्वर्ग से भी जाना होगा इंद्र को बता दे right up to this heavenly abode, right up to the abode of Brahma, all limited, all Maya. This is all Maya expansion. One will have to be flung back to the world of the mortals. As in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna very clearly states both about heaven and the world above heaven, which is the world of the creator Brahma. 9th chapter 21st verse Bhagavad Gita, Tetam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam kshine punyamarte lokam vishanti evam trei dharmamanu prapanna gata gatim kama kama labhante. And coming to Brahma's about, the creator's about, 8th chapter 16th verse of Bhagavad Gita. Brahma bhuana loka punaravartino Arjuna lekin mamupetya tu kaunteya tu punarjanmana vidyate. Very clear, isn't it? You go up to the Brahma's about, you will have to be flung back to the world of the mortals and go in the cycle of transmigration. But the one who comes to me, mamupetya, mera upasna karne wala, the one who practices devotion to me, bhakti to me, mamupetya tu kaunteya au kaunte, punarjanma na vidyate, no punarjanma. There is no more rotation. Everything, perfect bliss will be attained. I am saying it, says the Lord. 8th chapter 16 verse for your reference. Thus, this Maya was very easily able to govern us and take control over us, and is ruling us till this day because we got ourselves averted from God. There's a beautiful shlok verse in the Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran, 11th canto, 2nd chapter, 37th verse. Bhayam dvitiyabhinivesatasya dishadape tasya viparyayo smriti tanmayayato buddha abhajetam bhaktaika esham guru devatatma. Since that time, eternity, the souls who got averted from God and faced towards Maya and went into the lap of the Maya, they are governed by Maya. And now, the way to get out of this big time problem, we don't want Maya governing us and giving us slaps and kicks, and we going through the cycle of transmigration. Since time, eternity, that has been happening. We want to make a stop to it. What to do? The answer is right in this same verse of 11th canto, 2nd chapter, 37th verse of Bhagavatam Mahapuran. Bhayam dvitiya bhiniveshatasya disha tapetasya viparyayo smriti tanmaya to buddha abhajetam bhaktei ka esham guru devatatma. Accept the God-realized Shrotriyam Brahmanishta Mahapurush as your guru. Saint is a must in life. Without that, nothing will happen. We can't even have the Shri Ganesh, what we call. Shri Ganesh means the very introduction of bhakti without a saint. Accepting the saint to be the supreme divine himself, the supreme personality himself. Worship that Sadguru as the divine. Follow the instructions and the teachings by that divine God-realized saint, by that Mahapurush, and practice bhakti that has been revealed to you. And what will happen? Then Maya will be gone? No. All these practices of devotion is not going to give us divine love, and it's not that Maya is going to be gone, but all these practices is going to do one thing. It is going to slowly increase that light. Increase that light. The soul, very subtle. The divine Shakti will start to come as you practice devotion and bhakti as taught by the Mahapurush. By completely surrendering, turning towards, now wanting God. I want you. I've realized I don't want this Maya. Enough. And now you are surrendered to the Mahapurush and listening to every instruction and trying to follow every instruction and teaching of the Mahapurush according to what he reveals to us about bhakti. He has to be a genuine saint. That is a very important condition. Not anybody can become a saint. And in Kali Yuga we'll have many hypocrites. Remember that. Remember I told you yesterday also that Kag Bhushundiji telling about Kali Yuga Prakaran. Hoi jo soi marag bhava pandit hoi so gal bajawa. Whoever wants whatever path, they start to make new paths. In Kali Yuga you'll see every day new paths coming. Not every day, every hour probably. And whatever, they will be just talking, singing, kokala gal, means ki empty. They are nothing, they don't. So in Kali Yuga, it is very important that we do always be aware of, be conscious of the saint. That is why Jagadguru Uttam Swami Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu was honored as Jagadguru Uttam of this age and time in the year 1957 on 14th of January by 500 eminent scholars of Kashi Vidvat Parishad, not 1 or 2%. I am not saying that he is a guru. They honored, conferred upon the title and told the world that you don't have to go and look for gurus because with your mind you can't search. It's a dark mind. How can the dark mind search for that which is divine? Can't. It's my mind. So we are doing the work for you. 500 eminent scholars of Kashi Vidvat Parishad on the 14th of January in the year 1957, conferred upon the title of Jagadguru, so that people who are really genuinely searching, they can close their eyes and surrender to such divine personalities and get the true devotional teachings and put it into practice instantly, immediately in life, and in this very life, they can attain the ultimate goal. So, all these practices, how to do this devotional practice and all, that Bhagavan says, God says, I am not going to tell you. I am going to meet you only when you are going to become completely pure in your heart and mind. Nirmala mana jana so mohi pava, mohi kapat, छल छिद्र ना भावा. तो भाई कपट छल छिद्र कौन निकाले? भगवान कहते वो मैं नहीं जानता, जाओ गुरु से पूछो. मैंने रखा है ना उनको वो सब काम करने के लिए. So God says, it's not me. I'm not responsible for taking your dirt and your filth out. The saint will do it. Go and surrender yourself. So the moment the soul surrenders, the soul starts to do the devotion as has been taught by the saint. Then what happens? The heart starts to become, the mind starts to become cleansed. Slowly, 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 slowly. So that means the light, the darkness of Maya that had engulfed, and that was so very dark. Now, slowly, slowly, the purification of the heart and mind is going to increase that light. Increase that light. So little by little you can see. So with the Guru's grace, Gumrauti the Guru, that he will be dispelling the darkness, of course, with his grace. But we have to also put the effort of practicing bhakti. Without practicing bhakti, Guru cannot just grace us like this. God cannot. Otherwise, the whole world should have been graced long time back. So we have to practice the devotion as the Mahapurush, the God-realized saint, guides us to do. And the Lord, suppose somebody says that, look, I don't believe in these personalities. Yesterday also I touched on this subject. Somebody, suppose, says this and says that I will go directly to God. God simply says, look, I am the main powerhouse. And I am the infinite powerhouse of light. Infinite. And my job is not to give the connection. I don't give connection. Even in your material world, you know, the main powerhouse from where the electrical supply is coming, they don't give connections. Does the main powerhouse come and give connection? Of course not. It's supplying electricity. God says infinite is the power, is the light. You can take as much as you want to take. But I am not going to give connection. The Jeev, the individual soul, needs to get the connection with God, remember? And when God enters the heart, remember, only then the darkness of Maya will go, not without that. So how do I get that connection? The Jeev, the mind and intellect, senses, mind, and everything is material. And God is purely divine. So the two wires are opposite. It can't get connection. The senses, mind, and intellect cannot get connected on its own. And God is saying, I'm not going to give the connection. Then who is going to give the connection? Then who is going to give the connection? The electrician. Even in your material world, the electrician gives the connection. So go for the electrician to connect the power from the main powerhouse to you. Okay? So who is this electrician in the spiritual world? The Sadguru. That is how important this God-realized saint is. The one who has already got the connection. So God says, I personally am not going to come and give the connection, but it is my form. Me, as an electrician, I come. I as God don't. And you have to accept my electrician form, that saint form first, so that that saint can then give the connection. But the saint can also not do anything. The connection of the two wires, both should be the same. The soul should also have the pure divine now senses, mind, and intellect. Only then with the divine God the connection can be made. Here the senses, mind, and intellect is all material. It's all mic, it's all darkness. And darkness and light you can't connect. And light will not come in. Electrician cannot give the connection. First, the senses, mind, and intellect needs to become clean, pure, and divine. So the chal kapat, all that crookedness, the cunningness, all the filth, the saint will do the job. How will he do it? We need to surrender and follow the instructions as I just told you all. So in this case, as you start to practice your devotional practice, the light gets increased. But remember, the Maya will not be gone. That is why, even through other practices like japa, tapa, brata, remember the Ramayan quotation, Chopai, I had given few days back as well. Jap tap niyam yoga nij dharma shruti sambhav nana shubh karma ज्ञान दया दम तीरथ मज्जन जहां लगी धर्म कहे श्रुति सज्जन आगम निगम पुराण अनेका पढ़े सुने कर फल प्रभु एका तव पद पंकज प्रीति निरंतर सब साधन कर यह फल सुंदर. All this will lead us to increase our love, that light, that love in our heart for the Lord. But Maya will not go. That is why you must have heard the example of Maharishi Vishwamitra. He was the greatest tapasvi of his time. Through Gayatri Mantra, he made another Swarga, heaven. For whom? For Trishanku. Trishanku was the greatest famous king of Ayodhya. He did not want to have another body. He said, I want to go with this body to heaven. I don't want this body to be gone and then a celestial body to be given and then go to heaven. He said, I want to go to heaven from earth in this body. Impossible. It is impossible because celestial beings have celestial bodies. Heavenly beings have heavenly bodies. These are ethereal bodies, not like ours. They don't sweat. They don't stand on sand, on soil. Their fragrance is so strong, so sweet that our nostrils will break. Their chamak, their tej of the body of the devatas. I'm not talking about God. I'm just talking about this sattvic, mic, divine, Devi personalities, these heavenly beings. Ye sab Maya ke andar mein. But their body has got so much of tej, so much of shine, and so much of glitter, so much of light that our eyes cannot retain it. Our eyes is also light. It also has got light, but it cannot take it and it will all burst out. These celestial. And here Trishanku wants to go with this body. So he went to Maharishi Vashishta first, because Maharishi Vashishta is the greatest Brahmarishi of the time. And many times Vishwamitra had been defeated by Maharishi Vashishta. He was a Raj Rishi, Vishwamitra. So Vashishta said, impossible, I can't do this. It's against the law of God. So then Vishwamitra said, okay. Trishanku said, okay. He went to Vishwamitra. And he said to Vishwamitra, I went to Guru Vashishta, but Vashishta ji says that he will not make me go with this body. So can you? So just because Vishwamitra had this kind of challenge against Vashishta ji, and he had been defeated so many times, he thought, okay, I'll take this case of yours and I'll make you win. So Vishwamitra ji takes the case of Trishanku ji and creates another heaven for him. Till this day, there is a kahavat, Trishanku ke jaise beech mein hi latka rahe gaya bichara. किस कोई बीच में लटका रहता ना, उसको ऐसे ही बोलते हैं, धोबी के कुत्ता, ना घर के ना घाट के, ना खुदाई मिले ना बिसाले सनम, ना इधर के रहे ना उधर के रहे. Poor Trishanku could not go to heaven because the heavenly one said, hey, who is this? Badbu aa raha hai. So much bad smell from this body. They kept on pushing the devatas, him down. He couldn't go up to Devalok. And from earth, Vishwamitra kept on pushing him up. So बेचारा त्रिशंकु वहीं रह गया. और वो स्वर्ग वर्ग क्या, वो तो थोड़े टेम्पररी था यूं ही. So Vishwamitra had so much powers. Yes. And you know what happened? Ultimately and finally, Vishwamitra was so fed up with Vasishtha ji. Again and again and again, he got defeated in everything, in every aspect of life, because he was trying to do all the things which were against the law. So finally and ultimately, he thought, I am going to kill Vasishtha. And Vasishtha is the Saptaguru, Saptarishi, eternal sage. So when Vasishtha ji in the night had retired to bed, the lights were off, Arundhati, Vasishtha ji's wife, at that time asked a question to Vasishtha ji, that who is the greatest tapasvi of this time, in this time and age? The greatest tapasvi, man of austere penance. At that time, Vishwamitra was already hiding behind the house. Exactly where that room was, he was right there behind there, waiting for them to sleep so that he could come with his axe and kill Vasishtha ji. So Vishwamitra heard this question. He got his ears wider open. Let me see what answer is going to come. Vasishtha ji said, and that is behind Vishwamitra's back. Remember, Vishwamitra is not there. This question is asked by Arundhati ji in the room, in the house. Vishwamitra is outside hiding there. But gurus are all jani jai anyway. But ought mein, Vasishtha ji is saying that today, in today's time, the greatest tapasvi is Vishwamitra. Unchallenged. Only if he gives up his anger. Then he will be the supremost of the tapasvis. So as this answer comes, the greatest tapasvi of this time and age is Vishwamitra. Vasishtha ji says this. Vishwamitra thinks, oh God, he did not even take his name, Vasishtha ji, and took my name, and I have been fighting with him like an enemy all this time, going against everything he does and says. And yet behind my back he is singing my glories and my praise. Vishwamitra's heart melted. Realization came that day. Vishwamitra's darkness was removed that day. And the final light was enkindled of wisdom, light of wisdom. He comes right in front of the door and knocks at the door. Vasishtha ji goes to answer, and he sees Vishwamitra there. Vishwamitra had the axe. He puts the axe down at the lotus feet of Vasishtha ji, falls at the feet of Vasishtha ji and starts to cry and said that I had come with this axe to kill you today, to put an end to this, because all the time I am defeated by you. But today, behind my back, you are singing my praise. Vasishtha ji immediately picked Vishwamitra up, and this is who the saints are. They are already filled with all the love and the light. No matter what we do, what we say, once we just have to turn towards them, then what to say of God? And Vasishtha ji immediately embraces, and this was his life's embrace for eternity. He made, that day he announced and made Vishwamitra in that same life from Rajarishi to Brahmarishi, the highest position in that same life. Just accepting his mistake. We just have to accept our wrong. This is taking a long, long time for us. Just have to accept it. Yesterday I gave the example of Kagbhushundji, and I gave the example of Garudji. How Garudji got under the Maya. Bhagwan's Maya is so balwan, it is so powerful, it doesn't leave anybody alone. It has not left anybody alone. But high time that you and I, we start to realize what damage it is doing to us. It is taking us far away from the purpose of our lives. So all these examples in the Ramayana and the other scriptures is just to tell us to accept the wrongs now and humble yourself and surrender yourselves at the lotus feet of God, taking help of a Mahapurush. You can't go direct because God says there is no direct way. You have to come via my Mahapurush. And that is why even when Vibhishanji Maharaj, he is in Lanka, and when Hanumanji comes first, then Vibhishanji Maharaj sees Hanumanji. Hanumanji sees Vibhishanji Maharaj before Vibhishan Maharaj saw that who is he in Lanka saying Ram Ram, singing the name of my beloved Ram Ram. And there is so much of tulsi and all that beautiful smell, that all the fragrances that is offered to God. So he was taken by the bhakti of Vibhishan. Vibhishanji Maharaj sees Hanumanji and says to Hanumanji, Ab mohi bhabaros Hanumanta, binu hari kripa milahi nahi santa. Ab mohi bhabaros Hanumanta. Oh Hanuman, now I have pakka vishwas, firm faith, that without the grace of my Prabhu Ram, you would not have come. Punya punja binu milahi na santa, aur satsangati sansriti kar anta, bhagati tat anupama sukha mula, lekin milahi jo sant hoi anukula. Bhakti alone is the final fruit, and that will give us all the happiness. That darkness will be dispelled forever once Bhakti Devi praveshes, enters us. When Bhagwan comes, Bhagwan's Shakti is Bhakti. But this cannot be attained without a saint's association. It's a must. So today you have come. I know now I will attain my Ram. Now it's not far for me to attain my beloved Lord Ram. Up till now, I had been calling and crying out for my Prabhu Ram. And his grace has finally brought you to me. Those punya, those merits, devotional merits, that surrender, that bhakti that Vibhishan was doing. The Lord graced it with the saint. And Hanumanji is there. And now Hanumanji, you have come, so I will get my Ram. That means my Maya will now be gone forever once my Prabhu Ram enters here. You have come, my Ram will enter. Because this is the way. This is the path. So, Shiva Ajas Shuk Sanakadik Narad Jay Muni Brahma Vichara Visharad Sab Kar Mat Khaganayak Eha Kariye Ram Pad Pankaj Neha. सबका ये मत है. ये सब कौन है? शिव, आज मतलब ब्रह्मा, शुक शुकदेव, सनकादिक मुनि, सनक सनंदन सनातन सनत कुमार, नारद जी, सबका एक मत है. They all come with to one conclusion. That, what is it? Kariye Ramapad Pankajaneha. Fall in love with the lotus feet of the Lord. With his grace, the saint comes in our lives. You can't look for it. You have to have a very strong, very sincere desire. People come to ask me, Didi ji, whom do I make my guru? I said, you fall at the feet of Prabhu Ram, of God. and cry and ask for his bhakti, for his love, and form a relationship with him with love. And then the connection will be given through a saint. He will send that saint. We think we have been looking for the saint, and finally I found, no, the saint was actually looking for us. Because God had already signaled that this child of mine is crying for me. You better go. So saint was looking, but he was not really searching. He had already found out where we were, but he was just waiting for that final time to come, when our heart would be cleansed enough, devoted enough to that extent that a saint meets. Just like in the case of Vibhishani, I am telling you. And Garudji also had to go to Kagbhushundiji, Sant. Only Sant Samagam. Because Brahmaji, Shankarji, Naradji, everybody said, no, we can't help you this time. Mahamoha upja urtore. Amitai na degi. Kay kagamore. Same thing Kagbhushundiji is saying to Garudji. It doesn't disappear. But this moha is Balavan. सोदासी रघुबीर की समुझय मिथ्या सोपी छुटे न राम कृपा बिनु नाथ करहु पगरोपी. Without the divine grace, this moha cannot go, and that grace comes via the saint. So don't sit and wait that God will come directly. No, no. The connection comes to this electrician, who is the saint. He connects. So how will he connect these negative wires? Because these opposite wires to God. Even the saint cannot do anything, because our senses, mind and intellect is so impure, filled with so much of my qualities. So what does the saint do? He first makes us do the sadhana, the practical devotion. When we start to do our devotional practice, slowly, slowly, our hearts and minds start to get cleansed, and the light starts to get increased. And then ultimately and finally, when the mind is completely pure, the heart is completely pure, then as our hearts become pure, the Lord gives the Swarup Shakti. You know what Swarup Shakti is? It's divine power. It's the divine power. The Lord gives via the saint. The saint alone is going to keep on enlightening our hearts and minds, dispelling our ignorance and darkness of Maya through that Swarup Shakti, the divine power. The Swarup Shakti also helps make the vessel, our container, ready. Now there is no holes. Now it is not Maya. Now the senses, mind and intellect all have become divine through that Swarup Shakti. Then ultimately God then comes and sits in our heart. The bliss is now given. Bliss is God. God is Anand. And you attain Paramanand. This is, you attain God realization. Then alone Maya goes. Bhagavad Prapti and removal of Maya takes place simultaneously. Then darkness of Maya then only goes. Not before that. Look in the life of Vishwamitra, I told you, the Maya had not gone. That is why he kept on planning to kill and do all sorts of things. The Maya only goes when the saint finally graces. Here in the case of Vishwamitra Vashishji, finally graced. And then Bhagavan comes and sits in that vessel, in that heart and mind, which is now purely divine. Nirmalamana, Janasomahi Pava. So Jagat Prakashe Prakashakaramu Mayadhish Jnana Gunadhamu. Mayadhish, the governor of Maya, now comes. And when the governor of Maya comes, Maya has no place to stand there. Darkness. No. It is that light that Maya cannot even stand. Darkness cannot creep near even this sun that we know. Then what about that infinite sun? Na tatra surya bhati, na chandra tarkam, neva vidyato bhati kutoya magnihi. That is God. Does not need any light from anywhere. He is the very source of light. So, once the God then resides, the divine love the divine love, the divine happiness is given to us. That divine love, divine happiness is the divine beloved. Satchidanand Brahm. Then that soul becomes Satchidanand May Yukta. Eternal existence, Sat. Eternal perfect knowledge, Chit. And eternal perfect Anand, bliss. Just like the Supreme Brahm. तो सब कर परम प्रकाशक जोई राम अनादि अवधपति सोई. This Prabhu Ram is the one who enlightens all. All means Danav, Manav, Devta, and even the Swa-ansh of Golok Dham. Even the divine Swa-ansh of Bhagavan, his own ansh, those divine personalities, everyone is enlightened by Supreme Almighty Godhead personality. सब कर परम प्रकाशक जोई. वो प्रकाश्य भी है, प्रकाशक भी है. He is the light and he is the one who enlightens all. And when he enters, then only Maya is gone forever, not before that. सूर्य जब तक नहीं आता तब तक अंधकार नहीं जाता. तो समझ गए आप लोग? हरि सूर्य माया तम गोविंद राधे. हरि आवे उर माया तम को भगा दे. हरि सूर्य माया तम गोविंद राधे. याते संतों का दिवाली नित्य बता दे. बोलिए श्रीमद सदगुरु सरकार की. बोलिए सियापति रामचंद्र भगवान की जय. जय श्री राधे.
जय जय
श्री राधे. जय जय श्री राधे. We will do the Ram Aarti now.
Radhe Radhe, we will do Ram Aarti. Please stand for the Aarti.
Can everybody come forward and do the Aarti? 10 by 10, you devotees can come and do the Aarti as well.
Please make a line. Please form a line. Everyone can come and do the Aartis.
श्री राम चंद्र कृपालु भज मन हरन भव भय दारुणम. नव कंज लोचन कंज मुख कर कंज पद कंजारुणम. श्री राम श्री राम. अगणित अमित छवि नव नील नीरद सुंदरम. पट पीत मानव तड़ित रुचि शुचि नौमि जनक सुतावरम. पट पीत मानव तड़ित रुचि शुचि नौमि जनक सुतावरम. श्री राम श्री राम. भजु दीन बंधु दिनेश दानव दैत्य वंश निकंदनम. भजु दीन बंधु दिनेश दानव दैत्य वंश निकंदनम. रघुनंद आनंद कंद कौशल्य चंद दशरथ नंदनम. रघुनंद आनंद कंद कौशल चंद्र दशरथ नंदनम श्री राम।
सिर
मुकुट कुंडल तिलक चारु उदार अंग विभूषणम। सिर मुकुट कुंडल तिलक चारु उदार अंग विभूषणम। आजानु भुज शर चाप धर
संग्राम जित खर दूषणम।
आजानु भुज शर चाप धर संग्राम जित खर दूषणम। श्री राम
श्री राम इति वदति
तुलसीदास शंकर शेष मुनि मनरंजनम। इति वदति तुलसीदास शंकर शेष मुनि मनरंजनम। मम हृदय कंज निवास गुरु कामादि खल दल गंजनम। मम हृदय कंज निवास गुरु कामादि खल दल गंजनम। श्री राम श्री राम श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भज मन हरन भव भय दारुणम। नव कंज लोचन कंज मुख कर कंज पद कंजारुणम। श्री राम श्री राम श्री राम श्री राम। बोले सियापति रामचंद्र भगवान की
जय।
You can continue with the silent aarti. There will be a video clip. You can sit for just 2 minutes video clip.
तो दिवाली का मतलब भगवान को अंतःकरण में, अपने हृदय में मन के द्वारा लाओ तो माया भागे। यानी प्रकाश आवे तो अंधकार भागे। भगवान सच्चित आनंद है। सत माने नित्य जीवन, चित माने पूर्ण ज्ञान, सर्वज्ञ, और आनंद तो आप लोग जानते ही हैं। तो ये तीन चीजों का जो पुंज है वो भगवान है। वो आ जाए अंदर, बस मृत्यु भागे, अज्ञान भागे, दुख भागे, इसकी जननी माया भागे, और जीव सदा पश्यंत सूर्य, सदा के लिए सच्चित आनंद से युक्त हो जाए। ये दिवाली का अभिप्राय है।
राधे राधे, हैप्पी 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 दिवाली।
Radhe Radhe. We'll be doing Abhishek of Shri Ram, so please make a line. We'll right here we'll have Paduka. So we'll Shri Ram's Murti. We'll do Abhishek of Shri Ram, and please make a line for that. Radhe Radhe. And as we do Abhishek, Didi ji will give prasad away. So you can take the prasad and go to dining hall for dinner. After that, you can proceed towards our tennis court where we'll have sparklers. Radhe Radhe. Please make a line. Please make a line. Radhe Radhe.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. प्रभु कृपा करहु यही भांति।
अब प्रभु कृपा करहु यही भांति।
अब प्रभु कृपा करहु यही भांति।
अब प्रभु कृपा करहु यही भांति।
सब तजी भजन करो दिन राति।
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 ओ हरे राम, हरे राम, राम राम, हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे।
कहाँ लगी नाम बड़ाई।
कहाँ लगी नाम बड़ाई।
ओ कहाँ लगी नाम बड़ाई।
कहाँ लगी नाम बड़ाई।
राम न सकहि नाम गुण गाई।
राम न सकहि गाई।
राम न सकहीं नाम गुण गाई।
राम न सकहीं राम गुण गाई।
कलियुग केवल हरि गुण गाहा।
कलियुग केवल हरि गुण गाना।
ओ कलियुग केवल हरि गुण गाहा।
कलियुग केवल हरि गुण गाहा।
गावत नर पावत भव थाहा।
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 ओ हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।